Welcome back, beautiful Capricorns, and thank you so much for joining me here. Capricorn, let's see what your runes have to tell you here. Let's go, Capricorn. Things to do with home? Is someone needing a home, or there needs to be changes in the home? Could be about a message. Now, some kind of seems like something needs to change in order to get a victory here. There can be a new beginning, but there needs to be some changes. A different perspective will bring you a victory. The way you're viewing something or looking at something. Things to do with home. So there needs to be changes because there is some kind of stuck energy, or there can be a victory here, but changes need to be made. Okay? It's a necessary change. In order to get a victory, something has to change. Okay, so what's going on? Or there could be changes in a home. Okay? Somebody's taken a step back. The guardian angels are here saying with forgiveness and understanding you can expect miracles. But something needs to change. So what needs to change is what we got to find out. It's things to do with family. Home and family. Someone is... there can be a victory here. But someone has got to let go and love themselves. I don't know if somebody is tied to the apron strings here of their family. Someone has got to learn to let go, and this could be someone is resisting change. Someone is resisting change. I don't want to let go. I don't want to let go. But it's like someone truly needs to love themselves first. Okay? Someone's in victim mentality and something has to change. There can be a win here. There can be a victory. Expect miracles, but these are only going to come through forgiveness and understanding. Okay? And it's to do with home and family. And there are some conflicts. And maybe there are conflicts with children. I don't know. Somebody, like the Ascendant Masters, are trying to guide somebody, okay? I'm not sure what this is. Why is someone needs to remain optimistic and they'll see a victory. It's almost like someone is afraid to let go. Like they're holding on to something that they need to let go of. It is stagnating them. That is like they're, the more you try to hold on to something, the further away it gets. Like someone doesn't want to let go. They want to hold on to a victim mentality. And it's like, what I think it is based out of fear. What's going to happen if I let go? What's going to happen if I let go? And it could be of family. Well, somebody, it's being clear, needs to love themselves. It's like someone's, okay, I don't know. Someone could be like disappointed because their intentions were like, I want to have my family around me. I want this lifestyle, but the truth is they need to let go. Like someone has a vision. Someone is visualizing here. Well, I want grandchildren. I want everybody to live this happily ever after life. This is the way I want things. This is the way I've dreamt about things. But maybe they're hanging on to their children. Like maybe someone's hanging on to their children that they need to learn to let go of. You know what I mean? It's like someone is resisting change. Like, I don't want to let them grow up, or I don't want to let them go. But you have to. And be optimistic. How do you know? It could lead to a victory. They could be very successful. They could, this is accomplishments. Someone's holding on to the apron strings of their children that they need to let go of. It's almost like someone's afraid to let go because maybe they fear being replaced by other people. Like, I'm not as important as I thought I was to my children, or it's not that. It's not that at all. What it is it's time to let them grow up and live their own lives. That's what's in this read. Someone's afraid. Well, maybe they're afraid of being replaced by other people, but they're divinely guided. They need to let go. Someone is tied to their mother's apron strings, maybe, but they need new friends, new supports. And someone's afraid of letting go because this is codependency. Well, I don't want to let go. I want to hold on to them. I want my children near me. I want my children to be around me, but they may have their own journey. It's telling you to listen deeply and grow spiritually. It's going to bring you joy and contentment. I had to let my children go. I had to let them grow. They've got to grow. You can't keep children from growing and growing up and having their own dreams. Someone's holding on to their children by their apron strings. They want those apron strings, because they have a dream, but their children's dreams are different than their dreams. So they're afraid of letting go. Maybe they fear meeting new people. And maybe that they would have to meet new people. And it's like someone is like, they could be very joyful if they learn to let go. Yet they're being pulled to find their own opportunities, their own door. Something is becoming stagnant here. Well, there's no growth. That's why. If you don't grow, you can't change. If you don't grow and allow your children to go, like I said, that's codependency. It's codependency. Someone was holding on so tight. Holding on, and it could be you, Capricorn. Afraid of letting go. It's time to let go. It's like you gotta let them grow. You gotta let your children grow. That's what this is saying. Whether it's your children, a romantic connection, the tighter you hold on to something, the further away it's going to get. Somebody has got to learn to let go. They're in a codependent situation. And I think with their children. Okay? This is teaching and learning. Change. You gotta let them go. They have their own futures. They have their own futures. Just because there are children, we don't own our children. They're God's children. Like someone is sitting here and they're going, well, I'm afraid of letting them go. What if this? What if that? Like somebody wants to control the way they have their own dreams. They have their own visions. And it may not be your dream and it may not be your vision, but someone is so desperately holding on to the past. Like, I always imagined that my life was going to look like this, that my kids were going to do this, that my kids were going to do that. And we would, but it's an unrealistic goal. Okay? Because our kids have their own minds and our kids have their own paths. Their own, what did someone say to me once? They're only on loan to us. Just because there are children does not mean they are our possessions. And that's what someone's doing. And it's time to release them from that stress. It's time to release them. That's a big price tag to pay, being responsible for other people's happiness. We are responsible for our own happiness. And I'm sorry to say, but someone's holding on to their children, and they need to let go and let them grow and expand. That's what we're here to do. To learn, to grow, and expand, to forever changing. We're supposed to evolve. How can you evolve if you want to, I would feel guilty doing this to my kids. I'm going to be real. Now, I was fortunate enough to allow my children to grow up to be who they wanted to be. I may not have liked all their choices. I may not have liked all their decisions. But I was mature enough to say, well, all right, now I just shifted my responsibilities. It may not be what I want, but I'm going to catch you if you fall. Okay, I'm going to let you go, but I'm going to be there to catch you when you fall, if you fall. I'd say in my mind. So come on, I'd say to myself. I'd do self-talk, and I'd say, I know this is probably not a good decision, and I would really like to see this happen, but it isn't my life. This could be empty nest syndrome. What do I do when my children are grown and they're gone? And then somebody thinks, well, I'm going to have my children in my life attached to my apron strings. But that's living your life through your children instead of living your own life. It is. It honestly is. It's not your children's path to fulfill your dreams. They have different goals, and they have different paths, and they have different purposes, and they're God's. What about God's purpose? We've got to stop. We are not. God has a purpose for our children. And if we don't allow them to grow, and we don't allow them to experience new connections, and if we don't allow them to have other people in their lives and stuff, it stagnates them. It stagnates growth. And somebody's holding on so tightly. And the real thing is that somebody needs to look in the mirror, and they need to love themselves enough. So if they were loving themselves and seeing their own value, they wouldn't need to cling to their children. That's a huge responsibility to put on children's shoulders, making their parents happy when they're not happy themselves. It's because they're unhappy themselves. See, it's too painful. It's too much pain. This is melodramatic. This is victim mentality, and it's all based upon fear. How do people grow if you don't let them go? Allow them to make mistakes. Allow them to learn their own lessons. Allow them to experience the life that the universe wanted them to learn. Not our will, but God's will. Because, no, someone weighs it out, and then they go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's give and take. This is relationships. I don't know who's doing this, if this is your past person, if it's you. What does it mean? It just means that one type of relationship ends and you start forming a different type of relationship. You're not going to have the same relationship. Once someone takes a partner in their lives, your children's lives will change. Ask my mom. She had 9 kids. And she never involved herself in none of their relationship issues. None. She refused to do it, and so did my dad. If, however, you need help or you have a problem, these are adult children. These are not youngsters. These are adult children. And once they have a relationship with a spouse, your relationship with your child will change. Because they now have the responsibility to look after their partner and not the parent. You see what I'm saying? Somebody does not want to let their children go. They are tied to them with their apron strings. It's unhealthy. It's unhealthy for everyone involved. You have to let your children grow. Somebody isn't. They're like, nope. 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 This is not what I dreamt of. I want things a certain way, and they're not going to get it. And if they're not careful, they're going to lose. If they're not careful, they're going to be on the losing end. Because you got to let your kids grow. I was fortunate with my folks. They encouraged me to grow. Like, they made mistakes like every parent, same as I did. But in the end, you want to see your children happy. And it really doesn't matter. You change when you get older. I'm telling you, you change when you get older. Or you should. Now it's like, that's too big of a responsibility to put on a child's shoulder to make their parents happy. It's not their job to make their parents happy. It's their job to do what Spirit tells them to do. They have their own paths. They may not follow in our footsteps. They may make us sad. They may make us angry. But you still got to let them learn. Somebody's doing that. And it's an unhealthy reason why they're doing that. They're doing that out of codependency, and it teaches your children to be codependent as well. Instead of encouraging them to have new friends, new supportive people that they might meet out there, it's like it's codependency. Someone should just take the lead. You know what I mean? Things to do with home. Like I said, something has changed. So this mother or whoever this is scared for their children to take a partner because they have their own intentions. This is not good. They have their own relationship. These are adult children who have their own spouses, who have their own relationship to worry about. And responsibilities first is now to their spouse and to their home. And someone else here is doing a lot of stress and worry. Why are they so worried? Why are they so worried? Whether that's children who hang on to their parents for dear life, or whether that's a parent who holds on to their children for dear life, it's because they need to love themselves enough to let these children grow and go. Whoever this is, you may discover something. No, they refuse. No. Why? They're so busy looking at what they don't have to see what they do have. So busy looking at what they do not have, how empty their life feels, that they don't see what Spirit's trying to offer them. Spirit's trying to offer them something else. Wants this person to have new people in their life. Heck, there could be a new partner for this person. But they're determined. Nope. They're determined. Oh, God. So it's bringing in arguments. It's making arguments happen in someone's relationship. I've watched this happen personally in several people's lives, and it gets ugly. It gets ugly. It's not solving any problems here. It's just making it more difficult for these adult children to have their own relationships, their own homes, their own lives, without a fight and an argument about, so afraid of letting them grow and letting them go. And this person needs to form their own relationships. They need to form their own friendships, their own relationships. I never agreed with this, that your child is your best friend, or your kids are your best friends. your kids are your kids before they're your friends. And now somebody's like, well, my kids are my friends. Well, I can't let them go. But what it's doing is forming codependency. That's how codependency is formed. You got to be able to cut the strings and let them grow and let them go. And somebody refuses to do that. Told you, somebody needs to cut the strings and let them grow. Form new friendships, new love. But they refuse. Somebody is just like in total denial. My kids are not my best friends. Okay, my kids are my kids. They're not my best friends. I don't want to be my child's best friends. I have friends. My kids, I can have great conversation with my kids, but they're not my best friends. They are my kids. And now my role as mom has changed. My role is changed. When they're little, of course, they need guidance. Of course, they need a parent around. But when they're adults, they don't need a parent. Or they don't need a friend. They got friends. But they come to me for guidance or my opinion on something or advice on something. But I don't tell them how to live their lives, and I don't include them. They're not privy to my whole life. You know what I mean? I'm not going to let my kids interfere in my relationships. And I should not interfere in theirs. And I don't. Somebody's doing that. They're holding on to their children's apron strings because they're afraid to live their own life. That's codependency. The last thing I want is my kids to be dependent on me. Let me tell you, for anything, I'm not going to be in this world forever. Do you know what I mean? I want my kids to be independent. I want them to be able to be, hopefully if I did a good enough job raising them, that they can live their own lives and that they're not going to need me. So when I leave this plane, I don't have to worry about them. I know they're going to be all right. And someone throws a temper tantrum and they walk away angrily. Why? Because they didn't get what they wanted. These people have their own relationship. They have their own home. They have their own finances. They're balanced. They're stable. There's nothing to worry about. So why are they worrying? Why? This couple, whoever they are, have a stable home. It is there's a lot of balance and patience here. There is a great loving relationship. There is stability here. They're not doing anything wrong, but someone refuses to let them go. It's like they're hanging on and hanging on. Cut the apron strings. Because what it's doing, when they hear something that they don't like or that they don't want to talk about, they walk away angrily. You know what it is? It's their fear of letting go. Their fear that, oh, my children don't need empty nest syndrome. My kids don't need me anymore. It's not like we talked about. It's not the life that I dreamt of having. Well, get a new dream. Like, we all do. Every one of us. This is empty nest syndrome. Let your children grow. Maybe Spirit has a plan for them. There's no sense of having all this conflict and being angry and being depressed and all mopey-wopey because someone is given the silent treatment. Okay, I'm not going to talk to you then. I'm going to give you the silent treatment. That's like emotional blackmail. Okay, that's like saying, I am going to remove my love from you then if I don't get things the way that I want. I don't know if this is an in-law, if this is a mother, or who this is. But I can tell you, they're laying a guilt trip. They're all depressed. They're all angry. They're given the silent treatment and because they're not getting what they want. It's like, who became the child? Like, you've raised your children to be adults and have their own relationships, so let them have it. It's like someone's like, yeah, well, what about me? Where do I fit in? Well, you no longer fill that role. Your role just changes, that's all. It's like this couple has a happy relationship. Okay? They're very happy. They're very stable. They're in a long-term committed relationship. Dang. And someone thinks it's not fair. It isn't fair. Like, it's not fair. I mean, it's like, I had these plans. I had these plans for how my life was going to be with my children, but their plans have changed. Like, someone doesn't want to admit that. They're in denial about that. The dynamics have changed. It's not just you or this person and their children. It's now they have spouses, they have their own kids, they have their own home, they have their own plans, they have their own careers, they have their own walk in life. But somebody's like in a huff about it. What the huff is about is that someone needs to learn to love themselves enough to let their kids grow up and to let their kids love who they want to love, as long as they are happy and they're confident and they're stable, which they are. Leave them alone. Wish them well. Wish them happiness. Someone is very immature and very foolish for trying to control things, like, and then they can't figure out why they're left out in the cold. It's like, oh my. Someone needs to raise their own confidence, love themselves enough so they're hanging on to their children and they're living their life, their visions, their dreams through their children. And it's a bad mistake. We're just supposed to sit back, our roles change, telling people how to do things and how to live. And My kids, number one, I gotta tell you, they were very strong-willed and they wouldn't listen to me anyway. Just for real. My kids been doing their own thing since they was, well, till about teenage years. Then they had a brain of their own. And once they established their own brain, all you can do is try to encourage them the best way that you can. Your roles start changing. Somebody doesn't want the role to change. They want it to stay the same as when their kids were little, but they're not. They're adults. They're grown. They're married. They're in committed relationships, having their own children. You're gonna lose. Like, you want your kids resenting you or respecting you? Because your kids now should only be coming to you for like wisdom, advice, a go-to person. Not like an everyday visit, not like someone gotta let their kids grow up. Unless you don't trust their choices and you don't trust their decisions. And even if you don't trust their choices and you don't trust their decisions, it is their life to live. Period. That's family. Why can't everybody just be family? Like, that's family. Someone's just like, like, these people are in committed relationships. I don't know what to say. Because what it's doing, they'll end up resenting who's ever doing this. They will end up resenting it. But somebody thinks this is like the matriarch of the family. The matriarch that holds everything together, and then all of a sudden your children are grown and gone, and now you're like trying to figure out what to do with your life. And you figure out, well, your kids don't need you like you thought that they were going to need you. It's nothing to be sad about. It just means the dynamics have changed. And change, this is a favorable change. Like, it's all good here. But somebody has got to let go of trying to control everything, trying to control the universe, trying to control these people are not doing anything wrong. They are working hard. They're trying to build a solid foundation. They are joyful. They're happy. They're balanced here. They are winning a victory here. And they want to include this extended family, but not if you gotta respect somebody's boundaries. And someone thinks that their children are being disrespectful because they're not getting what they want. But it might be what they need. And in a strange sense, it might be what this person needs to grow. You cannot live through your children, and someone is doing that. And it's foolish to try and control it. It's foolish to try to control it. This is over control. It's not over anything else. Somebody wants to control the life of their children. And I don't know if this is an ex of yours. I don't know. Take it as it resonates. They are controlling their own children instead of allowing them to grow, allowing them to have other experiences other than family relationships. My God, they have their own family. Do you think for one sec my kids would ever allow me to do this in their life? Hell no! Oh my Lord. They would never have allowed it. I would have been too embarrassed to do it, but they would never have allowed me to do that. Just saying. Yeah, their dreams. Well, it's my dream. It's my dream. It's not your life. Like, I can't be more serious. It's my dream. It's my vision. This is what I always envision my family to be like. Well, that's a heavy responsibility to put onto your children when they have their own lives to live. These are some mother's plans. The mother's dreams. The mother's plans. It is. The mother's dreams, the mother's wishes, the mother's plans are exhausted. This is an exhausted ego. It's time to get a different vision, and it's time to get a different dream and cut them loose. Because whoever this mother is, they're afraid of letting their children grow on their own. Like, they want to be a part of their children's lives, but they're driving them away. Because the mother it's their dreams, their wishes, their goals, their dreams, their visions. Well, I visualize my life looking like this with my children, and well, they could have that happiness and that joy, but it's not the children's responsibility to fulfill the mother's wishes or dreams. I mean, there's no reason why you can't have plans to, like, other plans that make you happy, other relationships that make you happy, but it's not the child's job. It's like, who's the parent here? It's like the child is trying to please their mom and fulfill their mother's dreams, but their dreams are totally different than their mother's. And the mother now is mad, storms off in a temper tantrum when they don't get their own way, when their children's dreams are different than their dreams, and they don't get what they want. That is an overbearing, controlling mother. Like, I'm sorry, and they're going to end up in the cold because they're playing the victim. And it's not fair to the kids to do this. Just saying. I think that they need their own partner to love. That's what I think. I think that they need their own partner to love. And boundaries gotta be set, because someone is living their life through their children. They have these visions and goals that they want to accomplish, that they want to see for their life, and live out their life the way that they thought they were going to live it out. But children have other plans. And you got to respect your children's choices and their paths. And they're not doing nothing wrong. They're happy. They're in a committed relationship. They have a bright future. And it's like they feel divinely guided to live the way that they want. They're very optimistic. They're trusting their intuition, and they're achieving some kind of major milestone here. So why wouldn't this parent want to see their children happy? They're happy. And this parent could be enjoying that happiness with their children, but they're being stubborn. It's like, it's not my dream. Well, what about me? What about my dreams? Well, go live them. And then come together and you'd have something to talk about mutually back and forth. But this parent wants to inflict their dreams upon their children. And the children have had to set up boundaries. Like they're crossing the line. Like, you're not allowed to step into our relationship. You're not allowed to tell us how to live. You're not allowed to tell us what we should be doing. Like, these are grown adults, and they still want to include the mother. They don't dislike the mother. They love the mother, whoever this is. But there are just certain things that are crossing the line here. That's all it is. People hate boundaries, man. They get their tails in twists. Instead of looking at it rationally, like, that makes sense. They're in complete denial. Oh, I don't do that. Oh, I don't do that. I don't interfere. I'm not crossing the line. Yeah, they are. They are. Oh, man. They're stubborn and they're laying a guilt trip. Okay? And someone's acting very immature about the whole thing. It's like there's every opportunity in the world to extend the olive branch out, but if they hear something they don't like, they storm off with a temper tantrum and leave. They walk away. I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. I'm not going to allow you, because you are messing with my dream. I don't know how you're going to win with someone like that unless they grow up. It's like you're not supposed to be like a people pleaser. Like I said, I want to make sure that my kids were able to look after themselves. That I wouldn't have to worry. That after I'm no longer here, that I don't have to worry about them. They have their own lives, they're happy, they're stable. That makes me happy. You know, when I see my kids happy, that makes me happy. I think somebody's gotta I don't know why they're being like that, but it's based off their own fears. And instead of trusting the universe, that the universe knows what the universe is doing, someone figures they can control the universe, that they are the universe. This is my world. This is my dream. This is the... Well, your dreams should not include your children. Your dreams should be your own dreams. Because Spirit got plans for these children. Good plans. But you gotta let them grow. You gotta let them grow up. There's no point in having conflicts about it either. And someone is wearing a false mask. What's behind the mask is fear. Afraid that they're going to have to form new relationships. Fear that they're going to have to get out there in the public and circulate around and make new connections and meet new people. So this is funny, isn't it? So the kids are out having a life. And the parent is the one who's in fear. The parent is the one who is afraid that they are going to have to go out and meet new people. Find a life of their own. That doesn't include their kids. Ascendant Masters are saying, let go. And let them grow. Because Spirit got plans for these kids. These kids are going to be very victorious. Very happy. Very successful. Very stable. Be proud of them. Be proud of the job they've done. They've done an amazing job. Be proud of them. And let them go. I'm not saying don't visit them. Don't be involved in their life. Just don't overstep your bounds. That's all. This is someone who is trying to control everything. The way things go down. What the kids' dreams are. No, they got their own. And they're highly intuitive and they're listening to source. So you're not going to get more stable kids than this. I'm sorry, you're not going to find them. They're stable. And it's missed time. You know what I mean? So unless whoever this mother learns to let their children progress. They are progressing. They are expanding. They are growing. But it's the mother in this case that isn't. Take care.